Dear friend of the Major TV, welcome to this live broadcast. Today is live with us from UK, the Maestro and Composer Calin Huma. Hello, Calin.
Hello and ciao amici d'Italia.
Grazie, Calin. How do you do? How do you do during this situation? How is going in London about coronavirus?
Well, this situation is such that makes everyone rethink their values in life, I hope. And it shows that pursuit of economic prosperity is not everything. And I think we need to realize how much more we have to give to contemplation and to art, and to music especially, to actually keep a healthy society. And the atmosphere, as you know, is grim. We are about a week behind you. We are waiting to see how this crisis will explode. The hospitals are already preparing, and unfortunately people are worried. What can you do? So we can only stay as safe as possible and hope it will pass, and possibly we will learn something from it, especially to readjust and rethink our, social contribution, and that's what I believe.
Thank you for your message. It's really important in this moment to stay at home, be safe. You also, dear Calin. And now I want to start our interview, and I would love to thank you also for your super support to the Major TV. You're originally from Iași in Romania, and you live in Britain for over 2 decades. And we can say you are a citizen of the two worlds, and this has allowed you to express your inspiration for your native land, with some influences that draw inspiration from the purest neo-romantic style, and you try to innovate the tradition of tonal music. Would you like to tell us and to our audience that are listening your first step in UK and the work of your composition there?
In art, in music terms, I'm a product of the two worlds, with obvious influences from a lot of other lyrical universes. When I came here initially, over 25 years ago, I realized that our two lyrical universes are not at all different. Just a question of semantics, but within their spirit we were united, and those voices that are abundant in each culture, Romanian, which is sort of closer towards Eastern Europe, and British, which is so well anchored within the Western tradition, they actually been together and intertwined in many intricate ways, and quite obvious. So I was fortunate that I didn't land within a complete alien world to me. On the contrary. And I think living in Britain for so many years has given me, if not an advantage, at least, how can I say, polish, such that I was able to actually bring with me all the baggage and knowledge that I had accumulated in Romania, all the beautiful sounds and melodies and all the influences, coming from Russian classics, and then taken further by some great Romanian musicians, amongst whom Enescu was, in my book, the greatest. And then here, when those two cultures connect, possibly this is who I am, and this is what actually shaped my voice in music. Because I haven't started to write larger pieces before coming to Britain.
I would love to remember to our audience that we have published the Symphony No.1, the Carpatica, and this is amazing large fresco of lights and colors, paint a magical atmosphere. I would love to tell you and to tell you how much people react to this wonderful music and send a lot of messages. Can you tell please the story and the development of this composition, because we receive a lot of love for you, Calin.
Yeah, I'd love to, because it's very close to my heart. Being, coming here, you have a burning desire for your original space somehow, but that space takes forms which are different when you are away from your home. You think of it in a more profound way. Your connections with it are beyond the little things that sort of influence your life. Therefore, Carpatica, I had to. It was my duty, and I don't think I could escape, doing this by trying to describe a beautiful part of my country. So it refers to a mountain that was sacred to our ancestors. It's Chahlo mountain, beautiful mountain, part of the Eastern Carpathian mountain ranges. And the fact that it has three parts is because I was collecting some folklore and some stories from the area, and that influenced the way the symphony was written, because the first part of the symphony was intended to be a rather more geographical understanding of the space, a watch from the sky, a trip through forests and mountains and plains and so on, whilst the second part is the story of Panangia. Panangia was the daughter of a beautiful daughter of a king a long time ago, and she was so beautiful that the king has sort of put her on top of the mountain for no one to see her and to spoil her beauty. It's a little bit like nowadays with the virus, I'm afraid. So she was secluded over there, but she was so beautiful that the sun, passing every day, the sun got in love with her. And because of that, the sun stopped actually going around the world, and the world couldn't continue. And therefore, God made her, transformed her in stone. So that's the second part. And there are certain passages that are trying to actually accomplish this story. The third part of the symphony describes the spirit of the people living there, with their almost desire for life, with their passion for everything which is nice and traditional and beautiful, and everyone in their duty of living a proper life. So this is sort of what I try to convey through this work.
It's fascinating.
This was my image.
It's fascinating.
Must see it. I mean, if you look at the cover of the album, the cover is made from the top of the mountain and looking at the other mountains by a magnificent photographer, a friend of mine. He lives in Romania. So
beautiful.
That was the story of the symphony. But in my music, I'm more concerned with musical philosophy and with image rather than musical theory, and hence the way that my musical voice is flowing.
And now, dear friend of the Major TV, we have also an excerpt from you from Royal Philharmonic Orchestra live in Winchester Cathedral. Take a look. And now we're back with the interview with Maestro Calin Huma. Calin, you were born under a dictatorship during the government of Nicolae Ceausescu, and this undoubtedly marked you. Your story is a story of professional affirmation and human affirmation, which led you to transform your suffering into a poetry like the greatest masters and artists. Can you tell to our young listeners what it represents for you and how much of your experience we can find in your music?
Okay, well, I was 25 when revolution came in 1989, and my daughter was 4 years old at that time. It wasn't easy. It was a society very somehow with a lot of impositions. We couldn't find anything to eat. There were, for a bottle of milk, I had to queue for about 10 hours every day. If you wanted to buy some coffee, you would have queued for at least 5 days. So it was terrible, very difficult times to bring up your children. So revolution came and liberty came, and this was made a great impact on everyone's lives. But freedom comes with responsibility, and a lot of people are taking this freedom for granted. And it shows today how easy our society, we thought is invincible, is brought almost to a standstill by just a simple, organic creature. And so I think the communist period it's a good lesson for everyone to understand that it is important that a government should never be given absolute power, because the government will never possibly work on the best interests of its people. So we as citizens, we must take control, and we have to always be careful on how to run a proper life. So that's the lesson of communism. There are so many stories, and most of them are true, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We will never want to experience such a society.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible.
And I imagine how much suffering and pain, but then you survive, and then your story is an inspiration, as I said. And also in this difficult moment, we are in a globalization war kind of. This is a message of hope, I think, also with your music. So your story is an inspiration, and now you became also an honorary consul of Romania in Great Britain, and you conveyed the countries of Hampshire, the Isle of Wight, Oxfordshire, Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, Surrey, West and East Sussex. Could you please tell us more about your wonderful mission for spread the Romanian legacy in the UK?
Yes, I was honored by my government to ask me to try to, as much as I can, to represent Romania. There are over 100,000 Romanians living in the southeast of England, and they are bringing in a tremendous contribution to the economy and to the society as a whole here. And also, it took me some time to understand what it means to represent a country, and possibly my realization was that the way to represent it is to talk about its culture and about its people that have made contribution to that. So my mission is 80% to actually to bring image of Romania among. And the mission is to afford bilateral cooperation, economic and social, between Romania and Britain. And the third part is to look after the Romanian community, although they are living within a different jurisdiction, the British one, but still there are some things that we can be aware of and we can help them. So it's a great honor and it's a great responsibility because Romania is not yet extremely well known, and possibly the country itself doesn't do enough to actually show its image, its true image. But I think through the amazing work of its individuals, I think Romania could better her image, and also my biggest role and concern is how to create an environment, positive environment for the Romanians that want to integrate within the larger communities here, such that they can do it with dignity.
And now we have a special surprise. A video excerpt from the Piano Concerto written by Calin Huma and performed by the international pianist Sergiu Tuhuțiu. I want to be back to your music because your mission is also to spread Romanian culture with your amazing music. Your record was recently released and we are among the first to listen to it. What can you tell me about this amazing job and how long did it take to produce it?
I start a work, and just about it finishes, I start another work, and this is how I integrate somehow their various thoughts. Because to me, from the realization from the conception to the realization of a piece, by that I mean when it's fully orchestrated and score ready to be performed by an orchestra, it takes between 1 and 2 years. For me, I'm not a prolific composer, but this is not my first job, as you know. So I do it only because of my calling and because I feel like I wouldn't know otherwise. So when I finished the first symphony, Carpatica, I was thinking of the piano concerto, and I did it, and that was recorded at the end of 2019 with the BBC National Orchestra of Wales. under the baton of Christopher Petrie, because he is a great friend. I'm working with him, and he's helping me.
Also, you deal with the popularization of classical chamber music with the splendid Philharmonic Chamber Orchestra of London. What are the plans for the future? And can you give us some anticipation of your new concert that you are writing in this quarantine right now? What you're working on?
Yes. That could be my pleasure, indeed. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm going to be finishing this year a violin concerto. I had the great honor to meet a great Romanian virtuoso violinist, Alexandru Tomescu. He was opening the premiere of my second symphony with the third Sun violin concerto at Winchester Cathedral in May last year. And I said to him, look, if I write a violin concerto, would you take a look at it? And he promised that he would. So I'm going to send him the score to see what he thinks. And then if he likes it, then we are going to be looking to record this on a new CD together with the second symphony that was performed in Winchester. And in between, we already together with Christopher Petrie, we are going to come up with a piano, just a piano, about 8 or 10 piano songs. With every larger works, there are some ramifications that I don't like to throw away. Actually, I'm using a lot of the music that comes, but not all of it is bundled within the final product. So parts of it can be reused, a little bit like you did with your cooking. I saw. Very careful with.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm just I love cooking because I'm Italian, maybe. Calin, where can we find your CDs and your information on social media, and at least greetings to our audience?
The CD are available to listen on both the YouTube and Spotify. They can be procured through Naxos Music and Amazon as well. There are the possibilities to either download them or order them in physical form.
Yeah, just at least greetings to our audience of the Major TV.
Of course, and I really appreciate that, and I think I would love to stay connected with you and to listen to all the other voices that you wonderfully portray within yours. And I want to congratulate you for your decision and your activity, because I think this is great. I think art should be like any other form of recognized by the society, in a much better way. And hopefully my fellow artists will go through this very difficult period in one piece.
So thank you, dear Calin. Be safe. Stay at home. Compose your wonderful music.
I hope so. And thank you again for this opportunity. Really, really thank you. And ciao a tutti.
Ciao Calin. Stay tuned for more about Maestro Calin Huma on the Major TV and on www.calinhuma.com. See you soon for the next interview. Ciao.